Well, hello everyone. Welcome to week 4. I hope that you had a good Memorial weekend, and I hope you didn't stress too much about the Blackboard shutdown. As I had said in my video and in the announcements, I didn't want you to worry about it or worry if there was a submission problem, because of course I would allow you to submit today, Thursday, the remainder of the week due to that shutdown. So if for some reason you didn't get to finish your discussion boards before Sunday of week 3, then go ahead and do that now. If there was anything assignment-wise that you were unable to submit, you're going to go ahead and do that as well too. I'm not even going to start grading probably until tomorrow or the next day. So please don't stress about that, and contact me if you need something for sure. This week, there's, I think, not that all the weeks aren't relevant, but I think this is very relevant to what's going on right now. We're talking about Twitter. And it says in the discussion board, choose one Twitter hashtag for your peers to follow. What is this particular hashtag about, and why do you feel it could be beneficial in advancing instruction in your classroom and on your school site? And then you're also going to be looking at the resources, the 10 Twitter hashtags that all teachers should follow, Introduction to Twitter Education Chats, ISTE, 19 Twitter chats worth your time, and ISTE Twitter is dumb or is it? And the reason why I say that's relevant is because, of course, there's a big brouhaha about what happened with Roseanne Barr in entertainment. Celebrities often Twitter, our president tweets, and those are things that as educators, if we are tweeting as educators, what are our hashtags going to be? What is our platform going to be? What are we going to choose to say or not to say that we think is relevant to the classroom and inclusive to all of our students, and supportive of our district and of our school. So those are a lot of things to think about, when you start twittering, when you start putting things out, publicly. And as an educator and having a role in education, how do you want to be seen? So I think it'll be really interesting when you look at all of these Twitter resources and articles this week. Now, I wanted to read to you, hang on, let me pull it up because I don't have it memorized because it's long. One of the worst things you can do as an educator is to isolate yourself. There is so much to be gained by connecting, sharing, and learning with other educators. A teacher's best resources are other teachers. So how do you get connected? Start local. That's what I did. Look for like-minded teachers who share your interests and passions and build those relationships. I'm not talking about faculty lounge gripe sessions. And I want to stop there. We do have a tendency to isolate sometimes as educators. And, we have a lot on our plate. We have so many interactions within a day. And I talk to my husband about that all the time. He'll say things like, God, you used to like to go out and, go to listen to bands play. You used to like to play, used to like to go out where a lot of people are. And to be honest, I don't very much anymore because I've had over 500 interactions at high school within a day with different people. And by the time I get home, I'm really wiped out. And, a lot of times, we can become isolatory, put ourselves in this bubble because we are so exhausted from all of the interactions. But isolation can be a problem when you don't feel like you have somebody on your team at school, somebody that you trust, somebody that you can talk to. And like they said, not somebody just griping in the faculty lounge, but another creative, because education is creative. It's about curriculum planning and designing and backwards planning and, making videos like this where you want to be sparky and fun and engage your students. And, how are you going to do that? And having colleagues at school that just have your back in all situations can just make a world of difference. And I'm sure most of you know that. But if you've caught yourself isolating, you might want to consider finding a group of people that, that you can bounce ideas off of and be comfortable with and spark and create. There is a well-known, I think psychologist or psychiatrist, I'm not sure, but she talks about Because some people worry about making these relationships at school and then not trusting the people, or not so sure that they want to have relationships in the workplace. And one of the things that I like that she says that I have thought about over the years with my own teaching is that you have to look at your relationships in the workplace. It's like picture yourself throwing a rock into a lake, and it's got a ring, and then 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 it's got a ring. And you want to make sure that that ring closest to you is this inner circle of people that will help you, come up with ideas and create, or maybe try things together, scaffold together, maybe from 10th grade to 11th grade, or second grade to third grade, and that you feel that you can trust your whole self with, that they've proven that they're trustworthy individuals, that you can relax into creating with them and not feel judged for your ideas, and they're not going to feel judged for their ideas, and you know that it's this safe circle. And what you kind of have to do, and it's the same in life, and I'm sure you all know this, is you have this inner circle. And you may find that there's a person in your inner circle that you can't trust, that you don't feel comfortable with, that you would prefer to isolate from. That's okay, okay? But you don't have to get rid of them completely. You just realize this isn't working for me. I'm going to move them one ring out. And if that doesn't work for you, you move them one more ring out. And you just keep the people close to you that you feel like you can be your whole self with, and that will help you not to isolate as an educator. And everybody else, if they prove that they're not trustworthy or not somebody that's compatible for you to work with, it doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It just means you move them a little further out of the circle, and kind of keep it as a distance to keep yourself sane. um, Teachers are caregivers. And, for those of us that are caregivers out there, and there's a lot of you in this class that have children that are dependent on them, that have family members, elders that are dependent on them, we tend to do the same thing when we're taking care of people in our lives. We become overwhelmed and we isolate, and that doesn't help anybody. So I really want you to think this week, what connections do you have at school? Who are you comfortable with, and what are you getting out of that relationship, and is it a safe relationship that you can nurture? Just with a couple people that you can bounce ideas off of and be yourself, and start moving outward in the community. Maybe it just starts by following some educational Twitter feeds. Maybe it starts by following some educational blogs, and that's also kind of building your community and not isolating, because otherwise we become very overwhelmed and we can feel quite alone. And when things get thrown on us by our principals or our district or whatever, we can just feel like we're not getting anywhere. And it's really nice to have somebody to talk to, not just gripe with. Griping, gossiping, those things, those aren't going to help you feel better as an educator. I mean, yes, it's fun to always, braze something off, when you're upset. But if it's continual, that's not something that's going to be a waste of energy for you, and it's going to take away from your teaching. It's going to take away from your creativity. It's going to take away from the time that you could be consciously focusing with like-minded individuals that will help you plan and create and make your teaching day a better experience, and also be there to offer support when you need it. This week was a hard week for me, and I was very thankful that I had a small group of individuals that always have my back. We were in the middle of testing, and my mom had a really bad medical episode on Thursday. She actually coded 5 times and came back all 5 times before they realized that they had given her heart medication that had dropped her heart rate to like 45 and then was dropping down to like 24. So I spent Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in ICU with my mom. And when I got the call Thursday that she was on her way to 911 from my husband, my back was covered immediately. One of my best friends, who's a substitute teacher at our school, he was able to step in, take over the SBAC standardized testing. He'd already been trained in it, so it was like without a glitch. My students have known all year that things have been going on with my mom. They all blew me kisses, wished me love as I went out the door. And then before I even got to the hospital, three of my other in my circle had my classes covered for the next day so that I didn't have to worry about a sub. And, these are people that I curriculum plan with, and these are people that I teach with at Concordia as well. But these are also people that have my back so that I don't feel isolated in situations like this. And we all need that. So I want you to consider this deeply this week, especially since we're all getting out of school and summer's a good time to reflect on what we want our next school year to be. So be well and, have a good week. And if you need me, let me know. I'm home and mom's home and she's stable now. So that's nice. And don't isolate. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.